He says violent criminals only make up less than 1% of the population, which is about 720 individuals. He said so far they've been able to target and bring hard charges against about 200 of them here in Savannah.
The effort is afoot fully in this community. It's just going to take some time.
After one of the suspects hit a police car on Waters and Eisenhower, no injuries have been reported. If you have any information at all, call Crime Stoppers or police. Saw almost 50% more fatal accidents than any other highway system in the state of South Carolina. The chief started by offering his condolences to the friends and family of Scott Waldrop and the two victims in the car. He says even though they were involved in that violent act, they are still human beings. And new this morning, Savannah Chatham Metro Police are investigating two shootings, one happening late last night, the other happening early this morning. Now, the mayor says that there were 1,000 officers out here last night. That same event may have happened just because there isn't a lot done to prevent these kind of situations, which is why over the next few years, he is planning to continue to staff the police department to make sure that we get that intelligence that's needed and to make sure for events like that, we do have officers on every corner.
Yeah, and the chief also.
That's absolutely right. The worst case scenario is that the concert will be canceled. It's supposed to be held here, but if you take a look, there isn't an awning to keep guests dry or to protect them if the weather takes a turn for the worse. The other way, coming down 278 here to where it meets US 17 down at the end there, which is one of their big concerns because that is the worst case scenario because there's going to be a lot of water flushed into our area. Now, Beaufort County Emergency Management has been keeping their eye on the storm. They've been coordinating with state agencies and local agencies to figure out what their next step will be in response to this once everything has calmed down. And David, Chief Lumpkin says the two passengers in that car were also known for their criminal behavior. Now, they believe that second shooting, they don't know if that's related yet to this first shooting or not, but they are still looking into that. But if you take a look here behind me, you can kind of see where the trees are bent over, creating what seems to be a tunnel. Also here on a frontage road, we're seeing the exact same thing. Flooding going on for miles. In fact, at its deepest point there in the middle, we're seeing several feet of water. As far as that second shooting, he also took the time to address that one at Jefferson and Broughton Street that injured one person with non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, officers do not know if those two shootings are related. In Savannah, Georgiaree Godfrey at the Savannah Chatham Metro Police Headquarters. Back to you. Now, this is I-95 southbound here right behind me. You can see the water has completely knocked out this fence here after Tropical Storm Bonnie dumped at least 7 inches of rain on Jasper County today. Also here on a frontage road, we're seeing the exact same thing. Flooding going on for miles. In fact, at its deepest point there in the middle, we're seeing several feet of water, something residents in Jasper County officials say they haven't seen before here in Ridgeland.
I've never seen anything like this. The 3 hurricanes that I went through in North Carolina when I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, I didn't even see flooding like this.
That's Landis Lawton, a resident of Ridgeland. He's been riding around in his Jeep all day trying to help anyone in need.
She's done one rescue myself back there by the correction facility. One of them vehicles had a mother and 2 children in it, and they were just sitting there. And I actually pulled up next to their vehicle and let them crawl on my Jeep, and I took them back over to their house.
At least 9 people had to be rescued after some of the town's major roads turned into rivers.
Most of the time you maybe see a parking lot full of water or something like that, and like in my yard we'll get kind of high, but usually the ditches, you won't ever see them this high or anything else like that. And then there's a pond back towards that way, and it's just overflowing into the ditches and everything. So this is far from normal. But
and extreme flooding in those areas close to or below sea level actually prompted the evacuation of inmates at the Jasper County Detention Center. But with floodwaters all over the county, residents are concerned about the long-term effects.
It's basically underwater, and every gas station has the underground gas tanks. What if those tanks are leaking? All that gasoline that they got sitting in them gas tanks is going to get in this water. Where's the water going to go? It's going to come into our neighborhoods.
The road to recovery could be a few days or even a few weeks. But as of right now, one of the biggest concerns is clearing the roads that have many people trapped in their homes and in traffic. Highway Patrol says the portion of I-95 South between exits 18 and 28 could be closed for at least the rest of the night. They are warning drivers to not bypass any barricades because they are unsure of the conditions of the road. And even though it may seem passable, they are concerned about the infrastructure underneath that could be crumbling as a result of the standing flood waters. In Ridgeland, Georgiaree Godfrey, WTOC News.